tell you about Legend Seeker and how you can support its development while getting some awesome perks. By subscribing to our Legendary tier on YouTube or becoming a paid member on our Discord or Patreon, you'll get early access to all Legend Seeker lore and mechanics. This means you'll be among the first to dive into the world of Legend Seeker and give direct feedback that will help shape the game. But that's not all. Supporters will also be the first to playtest the system and will get exclusive invites to private streams where we discuss the game in detail. Your input will play a huge role in making Legend Seeker the best that it can be. Now, for those of you who love watching our tabletop role-playing game shows, supporting Legend Seeker comes with some fun bonuses for the casts. Here's how it works. If you are a Copper or Common member on Discord or Patreon, you can give a $20 benefit to a player of your choice. Silver and Uncommon members can give 2 benefits to 2 players of your choice. If you go the YouTube route, you can give a $50 benefit to a player of your choice. And for the ultimate support, Gold and Mythic members on Discord and Patreon give a $20 benefit to 3 players of your choice. You can choose from all casts across Moonskull. Every bit of support goes directly towards making Legend Seeker a reality. It helps fund the art, writing, editing, and eventual publishing of the game. So, if you want to be a part of this journey and support our shows, join our Legendary tier on YouTube or become a member on Discord or Patreon. We couldn't do it without you, and we're excited to build Legend Seeker together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the game.
You all want taffy. Okay, you don't all want taffy. Some of you might want taffy. I'm still eating this because I bought a 5,000-pound bag of taffy. Hi, I'm Froste. This is Frost written. I have a headache. And you're all gonna suffer because of it. And there we go. Doors are locked. You are stuck. Don't even think about trying to leave. Have you ever seen the Saw movies? You're probably all gonna saw like parts of your legs and things off to try and escape, but just it's not gonna work. So, I mean, you can still do it if you want, but you're stuck. Oh well. No weird guy on a tricycle. Just me. Nope. You're not out. You've got a whole bowl of olives to eat. Either eat the olives, cut off your legs. That's the way this works. So besides torturing you all, I'm here to write lore for Legend Seeker. Last time we worked on the capital city of the Azure Kingdom, Knetsef, and all the beauty and the wonder of all of its bits and pieces. Today, we're going to do that for some other areas. Yeah, drop those links. Oh, I'm not dropping any links. Had a tornado warning today, Jensen said, shortly before I had to go to work. That was fun. No, those aren't fun. I can't wait for those to show up over here. It's going to be a little bit before it gets warm enough for that. All right. There was something I was going to move around and I was going to look at. Should we do, for a completely different take on something, Solinor, the Elven City, and cover how that fun little place works out. All right, Solinor. All right, so we have two things here. Where is it? Port, Green Heart, Stargazing Towers, da 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 da. All right, this is an area that I need to work on slightly on the map too. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to labels. We are gonna click on this. We are gonna grab this, and we are set to font size 40. And there plus 5. All right. And we can put the move it down here, because this whole place is Solinor. It's the whole area all the way down. So we're gonna move that down there. We gotta shuffle a few things around here, because originally I had the city called that, but that's the name of the place. And this is the Gold Vale. This whole place. We're just going to set these off from one another a little bit, because this is supposed to be large-ish. Technically, we can make that a little bit larger, and that will help bring out the shape. There we go. Let's see. Don't worry, Chrysanth. I would probably choose legs over eating a bowl of hard-boiled eggs, so I understand. What do you get? EF1s? Those aren't that bad. Where I'm at, we get tornadoes. I'm gonna check something once here. Where I'm at, we get the average in this state is April 117th, May 239, June 449. So June is a big month. A big month. I'm kidding. It's not that many. That's many had their advent. It's basically like maybe 20 a year average ish, something like that. Let's see. We've had some tornadoes that killed like hundreds of people. We've had some F5s. Yeah, so we're all over the place. We can get any of them. We can get anything. Normally it's F1s, F2s, but we'll get F5s, and they will murder the people with cows and flying trucks. Love hard-boiled eggs personally. It's something I always started liking. I go, oh man, ping! Yeah, I love hard-boiled eggs. I love fried eggs. I like scrambled eggs. I like poached eggs. I like eggs. All the eggs. I do not like eggs. Century eggs, those are horrific and disgusting and taste like chemicals. Gross. Hi, Cajun Corey. But I like most forms of eggs. When I was a kid, we even had powdered eggs because government food. Woohoo! Ah. Okay. And we'll go there. Okay, go to my list of names. That is a very wise choice, Chrysanth. Very, very wise. That's not what I want. There we go. Here's my list. And let's see. Look this up real quick here. That's not what I want. Economy. All right, it's in landform. I don't think I'll use the old English word dingle. That sounds very intriguing, but yeah, don't think we're going to call anything elven a dingle. Huh. Writing slowly today, Dave, because I have a headache. Okay, that's an interesting shape. Okay, that's cool. Do I call it... We'll call it this. Gotta make that a bit smaller, though. The high cal. I'm trying to think if I want to go with... I don't like the idea of the elven place kind of having a little more of a Gothic or an old English name. I'm trying to think of something a little more interesting. Because it's a high hill, it's a promontory with all the things built on it, with waterfalls and all this fun stuff and trees and whatnot. But it's on a headland. That could work. Huh. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Yeah, it's raining here again. And nice chilly rain. Cats were out in it. They came in and shook all over the place and went to sleep on the couch. Oops. All right. Yeah, nothing's coming to me off the top of my head like, yeah, this is it. Ah, yes. Cats flopped on things. The ones upstairs were kind of quiet, and then they just, right before I started streaming, were just chasing each other around. They calmed down again. They're sort of calm. Quasi-calm. I think maybe we're just going to call it Kel for the moment. I think we can do that. We'll see. Hello, Sassy Witch. Home safe, just in time. Yeah, in 20 minutes they'll be just bouncing off of everything crazily. Excuse me. Right. I was in a meeting earlier where the people who arranged the meeting wanted to talk about a feature and a thing that they were interested in. By the end of the meeting, they had completely changed their mind about the feature in the thing. And we're like, well, I don't know. Maybe we're not going to do this. I don't know. Like, all right. I'm not the one to call the meeting. It's fine. They almost talked themselves out of it, which was kind of funny. I really do not like Cal as a name. That's not going to work out. I mean, it means hill. Somebody is playing with something up there now, making all kinds of noise. Noise, noise, noise. I wonder if I took the bit of... Sorry, I'm just thinking about these words here. Because if I flop those two around... Is that going to sound weird? It's going to sound a little strange to me. So for the moment, we're just going to call it the High Kel because it's the high hill, and I'm going to call it something else. I'm going to come up with an Elven version of whatever that is. But this is where the city is, on this rocky, mountainous precipice where, you know, the rivers and things fall out of it, which will be cool. Glad to be back in the sticks. Big cities bug me. Miss the quiet kitty noises. Miss the loud grands too. You love big city driving. Nice to get away from the cemetery from time to time. You can have it, Dave. I would love a driver. There you go. Driving Miss Sassy Witch. I can see it now. Alright, so we're back in here. Okay, we're going to take that out. Move that. All right, we're gonna put this into here, and we'll put that there. Boop. That just doesn't sound right. Yeah, I'm gonna come up with something better there. Okay. Loosely translating the comments only means place of the king. Da, 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 da. It's fun because I can hear him start here, run over near the couch, and then take a hard turn up the stairs, run up the stairs, and then run back down the stairs and skid down into everybody else. I was like, meow. So there's probably somebody just calmly eating at one of the food dishes, and the other ones are just like flying into them. Bam! Driving her straight to the psycho doctor. Wait a minute. Are we back in Saw here? Is this what we're doing? All right, we're gonna put the Hykel here. Really hate that we have to cancel Ash Wednesday morning service. There's office on my map saved. There you go. Why cancel? Your hands ran in circles. Snowstorm in the morning. Blah. You know how old ladies can't drive in the snow, especially when it's 3 to 6 inches. Ding. Why am I getting so many work pings all of a sudden? I hate that. It's so annoying. So annoying. Alright, what do you want? Okay, good. Nothing critical, just people responding to some ideas I pitched. There will be many bings and dings and plings as I go along here tonight, so I'm sorry for that. This is where the narrator cuts in and says, "But he really wasn't sorry," then inwardly giggled. Stop it, narrator. Stop telling him my secrets. Could 10 years ago, true, we practically had to lock down church on Sunday because a pair of wild turkeys were attacking anyone who tried to leave. Well, it's kind of funny. We were talking about turkeys in Soul Mask. Man, you guys will not believe the new place I made that we may not actually move to in Soul Mask. Tomix found a place up in the Highlands, and it's just, there's wolves and bears and horrible things everywhere. So I built this huge, almost round, to the extent of what is allowed, fortifications with huge gates, like Jurassic Park kind of walls, and a crazy big building. It looks like an old frontier version of a Pizza Hut, because it's got like sloped walls and a roof and all this stuff. But it's a cool building, and it has almost nothing in it. But you know, we may not move there, but at least it's a good respawn point. I spent a lot of time building it just for fun, and I was like, well, we may move over there. Wouldn't be a problem, just got to snitch on the person who took care of the problem. Whiskey can get crazy. Wild turkey. Yeah, our turkeys were somewhat mean, but also kind of stupid, so we had to keep them safe from themselves. Carved, not carbon, pools, canals, and aqueducts carved into the headland, funnel the springs and flows. We'll say natural. Springs and flows throughout the city. And back into their natural channels, once again fall the pools of Goldvale wood below. Okay, the high cal. There's only one temple in the High-Kel, and it is dedicated to Orin. It stands as one of the oldest buildings in all of the Godlands, having been laid down before even the city itself. Now think about this. If you're a Christian, is probably not that strange if you're interested in that, but think about having a temple where your God actually was walking the land and could have actually been literally at that temple before they left the world. In a lot of mythologies and a lot of games, it's like, oh, good, a temple to a god, but did that god ever stop by? By the way, I made a character and started Monster Hunter Wilds just to try it today because I try games. And it messed up the voice it gave my character. And when I ended up getting a wizard in the game, he sounded like he sounded not exactly like a man. And it was very frustrating, so I ended up having to delete him and go back out and make a character again. And then cut through all the cutscenes over and over and over and over and over. Because they have too many cutscenes. Like most anime type games, they can't not have 1,000 cutscenes to explain a leaf. Or something. Those people. Let's see here. Long distance hole puncher. Ooh, you got a wireless hole puncher? Nice. I like those things. They're very nice. They can't outride it. Depending on the ancient myth, most temples are visited. You could say that, sure, if you go with an old myth, but in most games, they don't talk about that. You only get to ever see the gods if you go to their place, because the gods never walked amongst their people. They were always like, the gods are in Olympus. We don't go down there because when you go down there, that's how you get centaurs. That's how you get these girls. That's how you get this monster. God's sleeping with everybody left and right. So, it's a little unique in here. But if you go with all the weird mythology of, the Stargate people, then that's how you get crocodile-headed people, I guess. I don't know. Huh? What? Oh, yeah, long cutscenes. I don't know. It wasn't very glitchy for me. Though it keeps yelling at me at the beginning that the game has to be installed on a solid-state drive or it won't work right. It's installed on a solid-state drive. I only have solid-state drives in my machine. It's confused. I don't know. So he sounded like a rude eye. Typo in the coding? Never. No one ever does that. Set game to run smoothly. 0. Dang it, I meant to set that to 1. Why aren't there more gods if they're frisky? Yeah, that's how you get all the demigods. That's how you get people like Hercules. That's how you get weirdos like Caliban. That's how you get minotaurs. Do you want minotaurs? Is that how you get minotaurs? There go the cats again. Exactly. How was Zeus supposed to get his ladies with all the other gods running wild? Okay, everybody, I got a rule. Nobody goes down there for any reason. Okay? Be right back. Hold my ambrosia. What's he doing? Oh, man. Ah, there we go. Cracked my neck. Bum, 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 bum. So I wonder... I'm trying to think of another fun thing to do with the elven city because it doesn't really have like wards and whatnot because it's not that big of a city. What other things? Because I talk about the stargazing towers and a few other things. Okay, we got Goldvale. We don't have a name of this little port down here. I don't think we named it yet. This port. We're gonna have to name this thing. Let me go read the description. Maybe the description will give me an idea. Port is the only persistently occupied elven settlement that lies outside the boundaries of the two rivers. Protected by... it is protected by tall cliffs and steep approaches, as well as ancient defenses made of stone. The approach is sheltered, and the harbor has been seeded with massive pylons in the mouth to make navigation difficult for all but elven captains. Okay. Guess I haven't dealt with gaming mythology or even worried too much about TV mythos. Yeah, gaming mythologies are really weird. Depending on who wrote them, you can have a complete mixed bag. You can be anywhere. You can be 1,000 different directions, and some of them make absolutely no sense, and they're completely conflicting inside their own setup too. So it's difficult having a pantheon, honestly. Hindu, Egyptian, Greek, and Canaanite mythos. They're having a good old time. I really wish they weren't. They keep finding a little bit more of the catnip I gave them the other day, too. It's my fault. I put it in their scratching pads, because they have the little cardboard square pads, and it's like layers of cardboard laid out like this with the little ends open, so they can get their little claws in it. So it's got little pockets of air, or little holes. And I sprinkle the catnip in there so they can play with it. And one of them immediately is like, rips it off, knocks it over, shakes it out. Then he rolls around in it because he's like, oh, I know how this game's played. It's like, good job, dude. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to think. When I don't have a headache, I'll think of these names a little bit more closely. We'll do that. That's what we'll do. We're going to write up some more of this stuff, and we're not going to put names on it. There we go. Yes, I gave him catnip there. Insane enough. I regret nothing. I regret some things. Okay. Okay. If I add... I don't need to add anything there. Let me check one thing here. Did I put... let's see. There's a reason for the insanity. A wizard with a... Yeah, and he likes to play with spells in the cats. It's like... Pachoo, 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 pachoo. By the way, when I show you guys Monster Hunter Wilds, when I play it, I don't know when I'm going to get on stream. Maybe later tonight after my game, my in-real-life game. We'll see. In Monster Hunter Wilds... I'll probably play Soul Mask, but in Monster Hunter Wilds, I made, a wizard guy with, a beard and everything. But you have a cat companion that's like a bipedal cat that talks to you in cat language, because it's an anime, and you've got to have that exact same thing in every game. Just sometimes it's not a cat. But I made him Calvino, so I have Calvino running around attacking things and throwing bombs at creatures. I always thought it was the cat weed makes him calm and just kind of dumb. Makes some of them lazy and dumb, others completely insane and dumb. Bottom line is makes them dumber. Yep. Hence the part. Dog the equivalent of drunk. Well, fermented goat's milk. No, I don't think that would be good for a dog. I'm kidding. Just give your dog beer. One of my friends took a picture when he went on a hunting trip recently, and there was a guy in a bar stool, guy in a bar stool, guy in a bar stool, dude in a black coat kind of like leaning over the bar, like, ugh, sitting there, and I'm like, he's like, I don't know, this guy looks a little fishy to me. Look, and I'm like, oh, it's a black lab sitting in the bar stool. It's got a bar stool with a chair, with a back for it. He's sitting there, and he has a silver bowl on the bar because the bartender or whoever gave him some beer, and that the dog comes in with him, and he has a beer in his bowl, and he laps it up and enjoys it. Midwestern bars. 12 pounds? Yeah. Wow, 12 pounds. She could probably, like, sit on Calvino's back and go for a walk with him. He'd use him as a horse. A beer might kill her, yeah. That might not be good. So, what do you think? What is something else fun that we could do in an elven city? So the city has been here since forever, because once the dragons were made and they ruled and wandered around because they were the firstborn, and then the gods made the elves. And the elves argued and didn't like the dwarf or the dragons. They were jealous of them, and they had a little bit of a war. So I'm thinking that maybe they have some defenses against the dragons. At least the dragons they don't like. Even though the peace has been made, it was made a long time ago. I'm going to think about that, because that could be kind of fun. I have to talk to a rude eye, see if there's some kind of thing that would work with that. I'd keep that in the back of my mind. Well, if we keep going through, I don't think I have anything else I can put here for Solinor right now then, because I have to name those things. From the other side of the river. Okay, there's the rivers. All right. They allow no trespassing here. Okay, Lorem, the Stargazer, the sun wine they make. All right, it's small folk. This is totally a separate thing, so we'll put that in a different area. Aunt hit a dog who would lick up the beer she spilled on the ground. You've seen Turner and Hooch. There you go. Dogs can technically safely drink alcohol. Most mammals actually can. The issue is how sensitive they are to it. Yeah, our dogs, when I was a kid, were mostly like free range. They just did whatever the hell they wanted as long as they didn't get in trouble out on farms. And who knows what they ate and drank. Anything they got their little paws on, I guess. Right? Right. All right, so I'm going to go through some of these entries. I'm kind of doing a free-form thing today because of my headache. I'm reading through, I'm doing a little bit of editing, and doing some kind of recalibration in my head of like points I need to hit, because one of the things I have to add is I have to add the Saren monk, like their main temple learning place, whatever it is, and I want to find out from Erudai if he has like a kind of a preference of like which kingdom he thinks it would be best in, which area, if we should put it like out somewhere outside of the kingdom. But they will have smaller training places all over the place. But I got to come up with those, and they're not in the notes or anything here anywhere yet. But that's why I'm going through these entries, because maybe something will trigger in my head, and I'll say, oh, I could put it there. Definitely no wine. Grapes are highly toxic to dogs and cats, I think. Curious about the monks. Yeah, the Saren monks are going to be... They're going to be interesting because my tendency is going to always want to try and westernize them some way. Like, make them less of, like, bizarre dudes wandering around with wooden beads, punching each other in the groin to see if they can take it. Drying towels with their hands or whatever, and more like... They trained their bodies for a reason. Not to try and find some false enlightenment or alignment or whatever it is, but they're trying to do it for a purpose of some sort. And we'll see, because Erudai may have like the traditional monk idea in mind, and if so, then we'll go that way. Everything goes in the 36 region. It's the 36 parallel, you mean? There's this weird triangle right down here. 36 miles by 36 miles by 36 miles. Just everything disappears. Will the monks be bald? I would say nope. My living weapon for strange aeons. He is not bald. If you suggest that he cuts his hair, he will punch you. Are you an idiot? Can't wait to start talking like this and chat with the small plant that walks. Rule 36. There's a rule 36? That's 34, my bad. Okay. All right, so I'm reading about the small folk right now. The halflings do not have their own nation, but rather live in villages and such in other nations, especially the human-dominated lands. That is exactly how I was going to sound. If you've never watched The Lost Kingdom, or The Last Kingdom, with Uhtred of Bebbanburg, I'm modeling my voice sorta on him. He's a little bit hard to take sometimes, but he kind of does that. Looks at people like they're insane. And then flies off the handle. It's fun. Hurry, we need to get her some sunlight. She's looking a little wilted. Unmute that tab. There we go. I'm going to click on a thing if I can find it. All right, I'm going to click on something. Okay, that doesn't work. All right. All right. Got that down. All right. So small folk, the halflings do not live in their own nation, and we're gonna check and find out because halflings should be fine. And we're going to be calling them small folk and halflings. All right. Medenford. There are rumors of a lost hill kingdom started by halflings before the God-Killer War. Halfling lore is mostly word of mouth from those days, so its location is lost. The dwarves have records of this long-lost Medenford, but they mostly consist of stone orders and work requests for their artisans. Clever adventurers and scholars may be able to make educated guesses as to its location from these documents, though. So basically, this is kind of a hidden thing that people could have an adventure to go find. And then I also have the Medenford's Merry Maiden. This is Michaela's character's village or inn that I made based on her crazy drinking habit of that weird drink. One famous innkeeper in the halfling village near the Caustic Strand is a certain... It's not a halfling village, though. Yeah, we'll just leave it here. I'll just say... is a certain fiery red-headed halfling proprietress named Michaela Medenford. She owns and runs Medenford's Merry Maiden, a tavern with a stable and nearby inn with rooms, famous for a drink known to knock wary travelers unwary travelers for a loop, as it's made with the local cherry-based liqueur, grain alcohol, and pepper mash. Orchards near the inn are famous in all the land surrounding it, not only for their bounty, but for the variety of fruits it produces. There's also a well-known traveler shrine here to Nya, maintained by a local soulforge priest who never speaks. Keeps and sells chickens and other fowl to keep the shrine maintained. The soulforge priest who sells chickens. It's just a quiet version of Dave selling his chickens, keep the shrine maintained. Nuggets. Halflings. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I was waiting. I was like, I'm going to look over at the chat. I'm like, I'm going to see some short jokes. I got them. There we go. Can save that off. All right. Sorry, I just got a message, and I saved a document off. Gotta sell my chickens. You gotta sell your chickens. All right. All right, we're gonna go on to the Soul Spires. So I did add a few quotes to these places, and some of the quotes I liked. Some of them I'm like, gonna come back to that. Solinor was easy because it's all paths lead back to Solinor. That was easy. I called that one out before I even made up the quotes for these. The Soul Spires is a day to a seed is a year to a tree. You figure out what that means. The major conflict here is skirmishes between the Heart Grove and the Rotboot. Capital city, none. Largest city, none. No government, no rule. Different religions in here. Once home to a flourishing lizard folk population, the land surrounding the canyon where the Battle of the Crimson Skies took place was laid waste during the war. Only due to the diligent care of Arendor and his followers afterward has the place begun to once again show signs of life. Okay. Magic used there devastated the natural order of things, blistering the land, cracking the crust, and flooding the valleys with toxic subterranean gases. These gases evaporated and brought acidic storms to the region, which killed all but the hardiest flora and fauna, eroded the natural rock cathedrals into colorful but jagged spires, and turned the water brackish. Rains returned to normal, as did certain rivers and streams, but the area remains inhospitable, and there are few settlements in these wild lands. Furthermore, as the place where the tide of the war turned in the Allies' favor, leading to the breaking of the Soulforge bonds to Grix, these unfortunate beings feel drawn to the place. There are remote spots in the Soul Spires rumored to be Soulforge graveyards where the despondent or damaged constructs go to still themselves. Fields are scattered with their stony forms staring forever off into the distance or clustered around points in space that only they can fathom, eerily unmoving like the diminished pillars that are the namesakes of the region. See, I got to be a little poetic with the prose there. Will there be any secretaries in Legend Seeker? Oh man! Guess what? I got a place for you, Secretary Nugget. There's this lovely, lovely place over in Agrium called Xandria. And within Xandria is a lovely place called the Lexicon, which is the library of libraries in the world, rivaled by one other library, but, they naysay that one to make this one be more important. But this one contains all the laws that they've ever been able to compile for all the kingdoms that have existed. So it's kind of like a historical law library, a current law library. It's all about law because it's, well, the temple to Xander, the god of justice and light. So what happens if a Soulforge actually dies? Do they just stop? That is a fantastic question. So what I have them doing, because their soul is trapped in there, when they die, I believe, Ruda can correct me, when a Soulforge is destroyed, their soul is released. So they die, they're released, and that's the end of that. When they go still, because they can't deal with the horrible things they had to do in the war, or they can't go on with life or whatever, they just stop. And they just shut down. And, some of them have had that happen, but there's one, the legendary druid, she did that, but then she was brought back out of it by Arendor over, a century or more of just care. Does it go boom? I'd imagine releasing kind of energy in a soul would be explosive and crammed into an inflexible container. It could. Or I was considering it more like a reverse of what happened when they opened the Ark of the Covenant and everybody got their eyes burned out. Of that thing just, blossoming, blooming, and you see, the eyes and the mouth just shooting the soul fire out of it until it dissipates and it just goes... Souls aren't energy? I don't know. I would consider maybe they are. They're probably the ultimate form of energy. Maybe. So you can imagine how much potential energy is in the world then. I put the silent Arit here for a place just like what we were talking about. A flat-topped and steep-sided pair of Arit connected to the largest mountain in the Soul Spires is one of the more curious and solemn locations in this wasted region. Below and in between them is the vale where the Battle of the Crimson Skies culminated. Numerous Soulforge have been drawn to its isolation in view of the devastated areas below. After making the harrowing trek up the spires of rock, they each stopped, faced into the buffeting winds, and have remained there ever since. Still disconnected from the world, hiding within themselves. Soul Spires are also home of not one but two druidic orders of vastly different mindsets. Okay, well, that's a separate entry. All right, we're gonna do this. We're going to give that a heading so I don't think that that's part of the same thing. Right. Let's go on to... Oh, that's weird. Why is my view set to that? Let's go on to the next one here. Okay. That is a PDF. It's not what I want. That is a bunch of random scans. Weird. Okay. I am not finding the document I want. I'm looking in this folder and I'm criticizing past me for the way that I organized it. Because yeah. What the heck was past me thinking? This isn't how you organize a folder at all. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm getting down to the point where I found the stuff that I needed, but it's like 3/4 or more of the way down the list of... There's got to be a rational reason for why I put this stuff in here this way. Because normally I'm pretty careful about my folders. This one is just like I've been dumping files into it randomly. Huh. All right, I'm still not finding the document I need here. But I found a video. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just found a video of Frankie when he was a baby. Oh my gosh. Just randomly in the middle of all this stuff. You gotta love it, right? When you find some random thing here. Is this it? 104529. Okay, I found it. Huh. I wonder why that doesn't show up. All right, let's see. Let me get this onto here. If I put this here, there, look. You get to see Frankie. There you go. Frankie, everyone. He's now almost a completely, like, not totally full-grown cat, but he loves just having his head nuzzled, and he will smack his head into my hand. He's like, hey, you. It's time for nuzzling. Like, all right, we're nuzzling now, I guess. All right, it's not saved there. I don't think this other document is actually in this folder, even though it literally should be. It is not in this folder. Ah, well, that's fine. I'll find it later. It's not going to be the end of the world if I can't find it. I found a video of Frankie. That's all that really matters, right? And there's a Calvino picture. And I'm not... Oh, almost to the end of it. Almost. And I'm at the end of the folder. I didn't find it. Okay, so it's not in there. I'm not going to find it. He is a little guy. Make a short, it'll get 1 million hits. Yeah. It's funny, the short that I had for, I put a few shorts for writing and stuff. I need to get on a cadence of actually putting the damn things out, but I haven't had any time. I have plenty of time. I just play games too much. And the one I did of Benji rescuing me from the loud squirrel by showing up and just going, meow, got like 10 times or 20 times the video views that my other videos get. I was like, yep, people want squirrels. Chittery, chattery squirrels. And they're there. Okay. So I will put this one over here. And open that up and check something about that. That's me. Where are my... Cats on my lap. Lap cats. Lap cats are fun. All right, there it is. All right. I finally found the image I was looking for because I'm trying to post it over into a chat, but I couldn't find the thing in my folders, but it's a thing that I posted to X, Twitter, and I was trying to post it in a chat, and I did all that for that. Of course, I'm on something. Wait a minute. So I'm seriously thinking I've got to do something something with that Soulforge who sells chickens. Call him Dave. Dave the Soulforged. Maybe not. All right. Hey, I think the reason I have a headache is I decided not to play games last night. I went back to rereading some of my manuscript for my second book, and I started writing. I stayed up until 4 o'clock this morning writing, and I went and took a nap and got up for work, and I had a headache all morning. So, yeah. It's all Chrisante's fault. She's been reading my manuscript for my first book, and it made me want to work on the second one again. Curse you, olive hater! Okay. So, going back down here, we're talking about the Heartgrove. The Heartgrove of Arendor turn. Okay, I've gotta expand this because she doesn't have a full entry right now. I've got to find out. I don't remember if Erudai named her yet. All right, the Rotmoot, the second Darker Order, is a Rotmoot, a druidic order that worships both Arendor and Mordecai, embracing the natural decay of all mortal and natural things. Let's say the decay of all mortal and natural things. The inevitable decay. There we go. They herald natural death and champion nature, restoring itself through these natural... I said natural like 4 times. I'm going to stop saying natural. Rotmoot is lorded over by... question mark, a leprous masked druid. And a fungal ant who is slowly being devoured by the fungus that has taken hold of his decrepit form. They are both tended by their compatriot, a woman known as the Bone Maiden, whose face is painted with the visage of a skull and specializes in magic which borders on the necromantic, but doesn't cross over. Since we were talking about necromantic magic earlier. I hate how slow going it is reading this. Every time I think I have time to read, I suddenly don't. Well, you know, it happens. And it's also possible you got into parts where you're just not loving it as much, and you're like, this isn't as fun. And that's also good feedback too. Because while that's necessary and inevitable in a book, sometimes it can also be kind of mitigated a little bit. Borders on necromantic. Exactly, it's flirting with necromancy. She's only a little goth. A bit. The Rotmoot are obsessed with the Soulforged, not to redeem or free them, but to end their unnatural existence, to restore balance to the world. They have a captured Soulforged they have subjected to countless experiments in order to try and free its soul, and ended up driving it mad. It is wreathed in oily vines and dark magic, its will gone. Oh, that's interesting that it doesn't want to go. Tethered to their grove, they now use it to hunt its own kind. They're so nice. You am loving it. That's why I hate it. I want to keep going, but things keep coming up. Well, that's good to know, too. That's good to know, too. The Darkmire. Bounding the domain of the Rotmoot on two sides, this brackish, fetid salt marsh is the result of Xerath cultists' attempt to halt the advance of Grixis forces during the Godkiller War. After its spawning, it laid in wait for the evil army, but ultimately ignored the cultists' bidding, slaking its thirst and hunger on all who approached, even them. To this day, it lies there churning the fetid methane-rich waters, fire bubbling up through the peat and bracken, feeding on anything foolish enough to enter. Think of this as like the fire swamp, but alive. It lives. Being as a patron to the cult of Xerath worshippers, and they draw power from it. It is always hungry, and its worshippers always look thin, fed upon, and hungry as well, but they control devastating powers in return. Stop modding these stupid streams and go read. Someone has to keep an eye on you, chuckleheads. That's true. Ask Rolf. It doesn't matter whether he keeps an eye. Yeah. He's still chuckling. Yeah, he's only got one eye anyway, so it doesn't really help. Darkmire is a convergence of multiple flows of the mana stream, which is why the place was chosen originally, making tapping into it dangerous and unpredictable. And then we added later on, the Rotwash, which is this lovely bit of land here between the outer edges of Mount Zintur and Lubun over to Ashvara, Moss in the north, and Soulspires in the south. This foul morass is born of all the seeping rot and magical pollution that eats at the heart of the Soulspires. The Heartgrove Druids maintain the steady drain of the filth from the Soulspires via the Rotwash, while some extreme agents of the Rotmoot use it for their rituals. Did I call the Rotmoot? I did call it. Oh, I did do one word for Rotmoot. I'll have to check that out. I think I named it the Rotmoot, but I think I spread the words apart. Mums, your favorite Crescent mums and treants, dwell near the edges of the mire as their societies benefit from the cleansing efforts of the druids, and in fact they are part of the efforts to purify and reclaim their homeland. So there are, up in these hills and up in this way, near Moss and everything, there are ents and mums who live out here. The mums. I am indeed a chucklehead, J-Prez. Okay, well, you said it. The Nugget has notated it because the Secretary Nugget is in the chat somewhere. It isn't like Fantastic is here with all his puns. Well, that is true. He did a pun at the beginning. It was a very devastating one. It hurt. It hurt everybody. Everyone was involved. Nobody liked it. Everybody was hurt. Actually, he probably loved it. And Dave, I don't know if you saw it or not, but you probably love it too. You seem like the type. You thought they were from elsewhere. Oh, they are from elsewhere, but they also live up here. So, mums and a bunch of other things. There are things in Xanatha, but mums have little places to go live here and there. they've spread their wings. They floated on the breeze and have new colonies in other places too. Secretary Nugget is still here. You could tell some puns, Cajun Corey. You know, it's not Tuesday without a pun. I don't know. I'm not very good at segues like that, evidently. I added juice to the keep stock thing, and I think it's helping the mood. I guess they were tired of only getting meat and water. There we go. Only weirdos don't like a good pun. I need to find an old Ole and Lena joke. Oh my gosh. My childhood was just full of those because some of the farmers we worked for were, God, I don't even know, Norwegian, Swedish, whichever they are. Swiss. I'm going to guess they were Swiss. I don't remember. But it was just all Ole and Lena jokes. I was like, oh, God, stop. Did you know if you turn a canoe over, you wear it as a hat because it's it's capsized. Ah, horrible person, you. Okay. I'm not getting any. It didn't work. All right. Boo. Wow. Now I have hindsight. Yeah, the only Lena jokes, like this one I looked up, I was trying to find out if any of these were ones that actually got told to me as a kid. But they always did them in, accents, but this one is, there's trouble with this car, sweetheart. It has water in the carburetor. Water in the carburetor? That's ridiculous. I tell you, the car has water in the carburetor. You don't even know what a carburetor is. I'll check it out. Where's the car? In the lake. Dun, 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 dun. Ole called the information to airline desk and asked, how long does it take to fly from Minneapolis to Fargo? Just a minute, said the busy clerk. Thank you, said Ole as he hung up. Bad. In lake, there is water. You are right. In lake, there is water. Wow. Well done. All right. So I have gone past Darkmire and into the Orc tribes. Okay, so I almost said something out loud about work. Ha! You guys can't fool me. Making me almost talk about work secrets out loud. Yeah. Very, very close. All right, the Orc tribes. We wander as the moons wander. They are not content to rest. Until they do, we shall roam. All right. We sided with orcs, or sided with Gricks, abandoning their enclaves to go to war, now mainly nomadic. Okay. As a result, majority of the orc tribes in the northern wastelands are nomadic, with the exception of the Open Sky and Black Moon tribes, who maintain large permanent enclaves in their respective territories. Orcs follow the herds of animals they hunt for food and materials, their own numbers being kept under control by the astounding variety of predators in the wastes. Their main adversaries are the dwarves of the Thunderaxe clan to the south, the last defense before one reaches Mount Silvermound. What is going on with the cats out here? What are they doing? Is Calvino by the back door or something? Oh, I think it's snowing. I'm going to check something. I'll be right back. I can't tell if that's Calvino, like, trying to get in or if it's just snow. There's a big hazy thing in front of the camera. Let's go see what we got. Ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong. So, it was cats. Imagine that. It was cats who wanted to have some food. So I gave them a can of food out there, and they're like happily eating it in the rain. Dorks. Then they'll go back into the little kitty house and just sit there and watch the rain. But no Calvino. It was Wolfie and Benji. Oh no. You got new work boots today and they're fancy. Ooh, are they steel-toed boots or something like that? I love Cajun course puns. Best career advice I've ever received. Keep a low profile at all times until they start handing out awards. Bam! Their Ole and Lena jokes are Scandinavian jokes. Okay, cats are walking around in front. Guys, just go. Go do something with your lives. Don't stand in the rain. There's a lot of rain falling right now. Composite toe. My friend's kids used to love standing on my steel-toed boots. She'd run in out of nowhere and just be like, ah, and just land on my feet and try to crush my toes, but she couldn't because I had the boots on. And then one day she jumped on me where I wasn't wearing my steel-toed boots, but my normal black boots. She jumped and she was like, I'm like, those are my normal toes. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you had your boots on. I'm like, nope. I got some sore toes now, though. Why would your work give you night vision goggles? Well, priest came to visit. Only suggested became a Catholic. After several classes and much study, only attended Mass, and the priest sprinkled holy water over him. He said, "You are born a Lutheran and raised a Lutheran, but now you are a Catholic." All these neighbors were relieved until Friday night arrived and a wonderful aroma of grilled venison filled the neighborhood. Okay, what is this? What did I just do here? Ah, I set that up. Okay, good, 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 good. And we go over here, we click on this. Blurp. Okay. Well, that's not going to work. There we go. Man, I'm going to do a lot of typing here. It's not even fun typing. It's just typing for typing's sake. It's weird. Gotta get back to the Lena and Oli joke. Save that. Close that. All right. There stood Oli, clutching a small bottle of holy water, which he carefully sprinkled over grilly meat and chanted, "You was born a deer, you was raised a deer, but now you is a walleye." That was a long joke. That was a good one. There's fun typing. Yeah, when you're writing, it's fun typing. It's you're getting all the words out. When you're writing stories, it's amazing. Okay. Okay, there we go. Fun typing puns. Ha ha. Okay, interesting. There we go. So, where were we at here? I was talking about the Thunder Axe clan. The last defense for one reaches Mount Silberbaum, the seat of the Dwarven power in the north. The Razorgrass tribes are the great hunters of the plain. They slink low when hunting to stay hidden, utilizing their thick and flexible armor to protect them from the Razorgrass, which is kind of fun. I want to put a little more of an entry into the Razorgrass. But I'm not gonna. It's crazy how much, now that I looked out there, that the cats are going crazy. It's mostly the rain that's making the beepy noises now, but occasionally the cats are running by and like sitting under the table out there in the rain, just like, oh, we're safe. Work days. 2 sets of digital night vision goggles. I'm going to purchase a traditional set soon. Traditional. I see Tevye with his night vision goggles on, singing Tradition. No? Am I off the mark there? Oh, it seems legit to me. The Ash Tribe are devotees of Zereth. The Ash Tribe desire and pursue the mysteries of fire above all else. Most mystical of the Orc tribes, and they regularly tap into the mana stream there to fuel their rites. Fanatics and zealots, they wander. The other tribes only work alongside them if the need or profit is great. Imagine meeting a whole bunch of Ash Tribe orcs just wandering around out there, setting everything on fire. Fire good. Is it raining hard? It's pretty hard, yeah. It's coming down, and the reason it keeps making the sounds is because it's hitting like the heat mat and stuff in front of it, and it's splashing up, so it's like doing tons of splashing everywhere in front of the camera. So, and I checked it. I wanted to see if they wanted to come in. I'm like, do you guys want to come in? And they're just like, we're eating the food you gave us out here, dude. But they can go in through the cat doors, so they'll be fine. The Ash Tribe. No. Ash Tribe. They burn things, you know. They burn things. You guys hear what you want to hear. Okay. I'm not even going to say the name of the next one because you guys are going to go all through a grade on it. I'm getting rain tonight. Awesome, Cajun Corey. Rain is good. It brings things back to life. Makes things happy. You know, one thing I didn't have a whole lot of today was hot sauce, so I think that's why I have a headache. It couldn't have anything to do with the fact that I got an hour and a half of sleep this morning. Nope. Probably not. Got poured on this morning walking to class. The weather said light rain. Totally 5th grade, not 3rd. I don't know. Look what you did, chat. Now you won't tell us. Exactly. I'm not going to tell you the name of this tribe. Nope. Because everything I say, you're going to find some way to be naughty about. That is funny. Okay. So if I went over here, and I have this note, the Threx. These are the winged creatures that live out in the wilderness, the nomadic wastes. They're very dangerous. They create thick, twisted nests in the great thorn trees that dot the taiga of the northern Badlands. Hunting under the cover of darkness, they sweep out in small packs, scouring the plains for food. Getting into a Threck nest is a challenge most orcs never undertake except as a penance or rite of acceptance into an elite hierarchy within a tribe. Let's see. Threck feathers are sharp-edged like obsidian when attached to a living specimen, but they lose this quality when removed. So yeah, you don't want to screw around with these birds, because they will cut you bad. They'll cut you deep, Shrek. Ba, 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 ba. You know, I grew up in a city called Rain. Was it a light city or a heavy city? Wah, wah. Huh. Okay. Weird. All right, so I don't think I ever did a picture of a Thrack. I thought I'm looking through the AI stuff that I had tried to make. I don't think I made one. Don't have a picture to show you. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll survive. A light city or a heavy city? Oh, well, which is worse, getting a good cut or getting a bad cut? Oof. I've been threatened by both. A deep cut's the worst. Let's see, where was that? Oh, frost lions. We were talking about the frost lions. They're a large predator that harkens back to more primal times. They stand as tall as a horse with striped, light-colored fur to blend into their environment. I don't have a whole lot of stuff talked about them. Just ideas. Alface, the End Mother. Alphase is a force of nature in the tundra. To the orcs, she is the end mother, the blinding dream, the embrace. She is the end that old orcs seek out when they feel they have lived past their prime. None living know where her lair lies, but if any have looked upon it, it was their last vision amongst the living. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do that. That's good. She is a psychopomp for Mordecai, his trusted servant and confidant. She's a neutral observer in the world and a herald of the dead, whom she leads to their proper ends. Alphase inherited this role from another name I'm not going to say out loud because I don't know if that's been published or not, or put in any of the lore yet. A fellow white dragoness and former psychopomp of Mordecai when she fell prey to her own lust for power in the God-Killer War. The glacial tunnels where Alphase has made her home are adorned with all manner of treasures, each entombed in thick eternal ice. The orcs out here drink something called Gluck, fermented blood-based grog. Yum! First cut is the deepest. Alright, where am I at here? I'm in the Fallen Dark Elves, and this is where we start talking about Malach, the Black Tongue. Blood-based grog. Get some! Okay, don't get some. It's probably not good for you. What in the world are they playing with that's scraping on the floor like that? They had paper towel rolls, but it was just a cardboard roll. It shouldn't be making that much noise. Who knows what they got a hold of this time? As long as it's not like an automatic, like machine gun, like a something from, I don't know, what was that one from Predator, like a Vulcan minigun? As long as I don't have a Vulcan minigun, we'll probably be fine. If I hear a spin up of the barrels rotating, I know that I'm in trouble down here. Just hear the whee. Alright. We're going to have to figure out what we're calling them. The Dark Elves, during the God-Killer War, those on the side of Grix were not the only beings working on fearsome weapons. Elves of Erudia hatched many plans to defeat his forces, and some of them veered into incredibly dangerous magical territory, mirroring Grix's foolish endeavors. Davila presented to one of these conclaves an item she'd stolen from Grix, an unfinished version of a great weapon. Dabbling in magics they barely understood, this group worked in secret in the far north, hoping to utilize the ambient power of a keeper's vault that lay beneath the glacial ice. Grix triggered his version of the weapon, and it set the inferior copy off. Their entire entourage was twisted, transformed, and conveyed to the underside. An ethereal demi-realm that mirrors the natural world of Erudia. Here, they were dusky, hateful, night-dwelling beings of pure lust and ambition, driven to conquer and slay using their knowledge and skills for personal gain, the antithesis of their former selves. When they finally found their way free of the underside, they reintroduced themselves to the world, bearing grudges against their former allies. Malach, the Black Tongue. This is the part that I know Michaela didn't like, because to become a lich, Malach seduced his own daughter into sacrificing her soul to aid him in his journey. Now, free from the shackles of mortality, he has delved deep into the lore of the Keepers, following in the steps of Grix himself. His experiments on not only the denizens of the underside, but his own people have made him something of a pariah, with only those tethered to him by patronage and political machinations having anything to do with him. He holds court in his palace of corrupted ice. Its dark halls home to erudite demons, warlocks, and all manner of lesser evils. All the reflective surfaces within his demesne warp the viewer and offer hideous glimpses into the ethereal underside. Oh, that's right. This is where Murmur lives. A hairless kennel that owes Malak more than one favor, Murmur is a frequent visitor at the palace, always hoping to find some scrap of lore or knowledge to barter with in the outside world. She hates herself. She's conniving and wretched, living on borrowed time. Blood-based booze is pretty metal. Yeah. Tommy gun or flamethrower. Oh, he seems, yeah, he's an upstanding fellow. He's just, pursuing his dreams. Okay, this is getting crazy and annoying. It's just every single time I touch the phone, it dings again and it dings again. I know it's raining. It even just rang and dinged there. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually even see. Let's see if I can see what you see. This is how much it's splashing out there. I'm trying to turn it at the right angle so you can actually kind of see. Maybe if I do down, it'll blur out a little bit more. You can sort of see the table in the background there, but it's the water and the rain is coming down so hard. It's just like, it's creating a fog because also the heat mat is warming it up and evaporating it. So, yeah, it's crazy out there right now. It's coming mostly straight down, though. All the raindrops. Yeah, it's very loud. I'm surprised you can't hear it. Oh, here we go. I've got Kyle the Kind in here. The ogre who's a wandering trader that trades goods he finds for foods to take back to his home tribe. His helpers are some disaffected orcs, cripples, and other beings. He's very diplomatic for an ogre and has gained this following of beings due to his kindness. An amateur artist, he has many drawings that he tries to trade for food and spices. He's an enterprising Renaissance ogre who's unfortunately all thumbs, but he does have an amazing singing voice. Kyle and his retinue speak fondly of Vulcan and how he inspires their creativity. Yeah, I'm going to put myself a little note there because I want to come back to this. And we're going to highlight that section and put that there. Okay. Giant Croft. Various giant clan forts and enclosures dot the hills and mountains across the Godland. Some of them trade with their neighbors, others patrol and jealously guard their lands. Crofts change leadership often, so only the locals are likely to know the temperament of the current head of any given croft. So I put these on the map. We have Moss up here. That giant croft is up in these mountains up here near Solinor and Ashvara. I should probably capitalize Ashvara. And the other one, Hillmouth, is up here, not too far from Silvermount and there, but they mostly stay in their mountains up here because plenty of things to keep them busy, and the dwarves have explosives, so you don't want to mess around with those guys. We don't mess around with those guys; they're jerks. Oops, I gotta put an A on there. Ashvara. Alright, we're going to put that there. We're going to leave it there. There we go. Having a special flesh meat for the last time for the next 47 days. Flesh meat! All the flesh meats. Oh no. All right. Okay, nice. Where is my notes myself? I've got about 16, 17 minutes. And we keep going on that stuff. And yeah, I'm probably a little bit all over the place today because, well, I'm going where my head takes me, and my head hurts a lot right now. So yeah. So far today, you have leftover wonton soup and steak. Hey, there you go. Need to add your name to your phone dictionary. Yeah. Well, hey, when I type it in here, sometimes if I type CHR with the app ampersand, or not ampersand, but the @ symbol, it tries to say Christmas. I don't know who, is there somebody named Christmas in the chat all the time? I don't know why it would autocorrect to that. Does it make sense? It's Fat Tuesday today. Wish the phone app would autofill names like on PC. Ah, that would be nice. Whee! You know what, I just noticed something? This is really weird. This word here, the E looks different than all the other letters in it. Why? What the heck? Oh, that's weird. At a different font size, it changes the color of the... Oh, that's so weird. Okay. All right, everybody, we're just gonna back away from that. Okay, got it. Pretend you didn't see anything. And here, I was thinking, oh man, I don't feel like cooking because I have my game starting right after this. I'll just order some food and I'll pause and I'll go up and get it. But it's raining this hard. It's gonna be a swamp in my my driveway, so I'm not gonna be ordering food. So I'm just gonna make something. So they'll just have to wait while I cook. The special E. So I took today off. Every year I'm crazy busy, never get a chance to actually be fat on Fat Tuesday. Hey, there you go. You did it. All right. All right. By the way, while I'm looking through all this stuff, we leveled up in our campaign, so we turned in an item that was a very rare item to these magicians, and they kind of gave us a run through their current items they had available, so we were each able to take a rare magic item in 5th edition. And we're each playing 2 characters. Mine are both wizards, and one of them, he's obsessed with teleporting in interdimensional spaces and, you know, stuff like that. He has a handy haversack, and he loves teleporting, and he loves trying things out. He got a Darren's Instant Fortress, which he can, bam, throw on the ground, and boom, he suddenly got a 20-foot tall adamantine fortress, which is pretty awesome. And the other character, she got a mantle of spell resistance, I think, so she's more resistant to spells, which is going to be pretty cool, I think. So we had to have those figured out before this game, and I was like, oh no, I got to do that. So I did one of them at lunch, and the other one I sat just looking through stuff going, what would make sense for her? And found her that. She's also, that character, she's an elf wizard, but she also was a criminal before she became a wizard. So she's very good at picking locks and stealing things, and also may occasionally just wander into a room when people are like, okay, well, let's go grab these things and let's go to the next room and do this thing, and she'll be like, yes, let's do that. And nobody really looks. She'll just go back in the room and go, no reason to leave that behind. So she has a number of items in her bags that people were probably thinking that are still left somewhere else that she didn't leave them. She got sticky fingers, okay? A little bit of kleptomania doesn't hurt anyone. Just make a sandwich. Yeah, Chrysanth would have to make the sandwich, send me a picture of it, and then eat it, because unless she could teleport me a sandwich. Actually makes me kind of sad. I was taught it is a day for indulgence. However, it's gone so far past that it's all debauchery. Yeah, there's a little bit of debauchery. Yeah, do everything today and then tomorrow stop sinning completely. Wait a minute! Comic Sans was found to help some people's dyslexia and potentially or partially develop for that reason. Thanks, JJ. Like 17 games, just less forward about it. Yeah, well, the thing is, she takes the loot, she gets the loot and keeps the loot too. She's like, ooh, I think this would look nice in my place. Ooh, I think this would look nice in my place. One of the characters is like, oh, hey, where'd you get a drift globe from? She's like, it was on that pedestal in that room. And he's like, we didn't take that. We left that behind. And she's like, oh. And he's like, wait a minute. This is all... Half of the stuff in this room is stuff we left in other places. She's like, why would we leave treasure behind? It just doesn't make sense, people. Okay. Mordecai's throne. So I'm into some other notable landmarks here. Mordecai's throne. I'm not going to read through that one because it's got some little mini spoilers in it. But that was inspired by the Devil's Seat or the Devil's Chair, whatever it's called. The Whitewood was once a Fey stronghold, delightful and chaotic until Savael's obsession with defying death began to consume him. His experiments were forbidden magic, poisoned the very soul of the kingdom of Valara, driving the Fae from their ancestral haunts, and darker beings took their place. Whitewood is now a cursed domain, infested with undead and creatures from the underside alike. Rumors persist that a long-lost megalithic site erected by a druid of the Brotherhood of the Gilded Veil lies deep within the Whitewood, now controlled by a powerful witch. Goblins and other non-Fey creatures serve the witch and regularly scout and raid smaller settlements in the area for supplies and other less savory plunder. Denizens of the Whitewood never venture into the light and lands around Senna's Fall, for their power there. The power there repels them and all of those of their nature. Alright, so, in case you're wondering, the Whitewood is this massive forest up here. Massive, massive. It's, slowly over the last, 1,000 years been just expanding itself. Narros Keep. This is a scary place. Once the seat of power of a noble knight and his followers, Narros Keep was overtaken by Savael during the God-Killer War. He stamped out their resistance to his rule cruelly and efficiently. It was nearly impenetrable by any conventional force, but Savael and his agents finally infiltrated their defenses and charmed the entire population of soldiers, nobles, and citizens. He then compelled them to carry out a grotesque mass suicide. Under his influence, the entire population threw themselves off the fortress in perfect unison, creating what would later be called the Waterfall of Thralls. Thousands of bodies plummeted into the abyss below, a horrifying spectacle of Savael's dark power. This act granted him immense life force and turned Narros Keep into an empty, ghostly shell, a fortress lost to death. I really wish... I don't want to turn off my notifications, because as soon as I turn off notifications for the camera, there'll be a cat out there like, help me, I'm being attacked by a bear! And I will not answer. This way at least I get all these false things, but also anything else happens. Though last time it was Benji pawing at the thing because there was a raccoon sniffing around the water dish. He's like, help! Intruders! Okay. Silverton. Dwarven village and outpost located on the Shining River. The settlement boasts a healthy human and halfling population in it, in addition to the dwarves that run it. Town is encircled by a dwarven fort wall, an unusual sight this far south of Silvermon. Given the importance of the industry here, it is warranted. The wall keeps the creatures of the Whitewood at bay. as the town is far enough from Senesval to not benefit from its ability to repel the undead. The overland route from Silverton to Silvermont crosses through all the towns and cities along the old Agrane Road, which borders the Whitewood. This is that cool little trade route that goes all the way from Silverton down to Rivenmont, through Vindonis, past the ruins of Eldwin, over to A4 if you go that way, all the way north past Arisium and its trade port, past Hillmouth, up to Caer Silvermount, and up into Mount Silvermount itself. And you could take the fork off into Five Falls if you want. If you want. And Eldwin is that poor little place down there. Savael hypnotized the entire population of this ancient coastal city into ritualously ending their lives one by one. So similar but different from the last time he did it. In a macabre offering of blood, the lands around Eldwin became a cursed forsaken place, and Savael used it as the seat of power to command his legions of the undead. To this day, it remains a cursed place, forsaken by the living. Gargoyles, vampires, and other undead can be found here, rarely venturing past the edges of their shadowed ruin. So if you want to find some fun undead, go down there. Let's see. Did you eat a king cake today? Yep, Sevi. No. By the way, explain to me what the purpose of a king cake is. I know there's a little baby Jesus in it, and it's a pastry, but I don't get it. Donuts. Studying for a human A&P exam, and I hate this lab manual. There's so many typos in it that drives me up a wall. Oh no! How would you fight a bear from a distance? Nuke it from orbit? I'd call in an A-10 Warthog and say, "Look, bear, get it!" You just hear it burp, and of the bear exploding as depleted uranium rounds taken apart. And that's how you fight a bear. I think. Find the baby Jesus and you get good luck. It is voodoo. Yay! That's what we need. More voodoo. That seems like not a good thing. I just realized this. Oops. We're gonna get rid of that path, because that doesn't belong there. That was supposed to have connected there. I never connected it somehow. Who knew? Me? Someone else? Maybe. Hoodoo. You do. Voodoo. No offense, Frost, but you are the last person I'm taking advice on how to take care of bears. Struggle with them in every game. Hey, I'll have you know that I did get killed by a bear in Soul Mask because I built that base literally outside of a coal mine, and inside the coal mine are bears. And I went to go fight one and got stuck on a rock, and it went right, its claws glowed red, and that was the last thing I saw. So yeah, that tracks. If you find the baby, you buy the next king cake. Oh. So it's just basically a way of figuring out who pays the bill for the next cake? That seems like a very convoluted way to do things. Sorry, I'm reading a chat here, and something that Erudai took out of context. I'm like, oh, I see what he... Okay, yeah, yep. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Can't type it all in YouTube. Thank you for the link, Jensen. A taste of Mardi Gras. Oh, it's the French. That's all I need to know. I'm done. I'm kidding. I'm sure there's something redeeming about the French culture. Early Europeans celebrated the coming of the three wise men bearing gifts 12 days after Christmas, calling it the Feast of Epiphany, 12th night, King's Day. Yeah. Honor the three kings. Portray a circular route. A bean, a pea, or a coin was hidden inside the cake. The person who got the hidden piece was declared king for the day. Oh, this says you have to host the next king cake party. Oh man, I don't think that's not worth the gamble. And honestly, it seems like these people are maybe adding a little bit of something to that. Because, I don't know, that seems too rational-ish. Yes, I've been doing coloring of stuff. I've actually made Fryland a little greener. The Soul Spires have some darkness. I've got, new things like the Rot Wash is in here. Calling things out. I've added a whole bunch of new areas. This is the other Dwarven Kingdom. We got the entire Azure Kingdom all planned out. I wrote an entire 3-page thing on just Knesef and how the city has got a beautiful place like Carthage. It's fun stuff. French, I'm dumb now. They're an ocean away from mer. I don't know. I thought you were going somewhere with that mer. Cajun French is the best, most based of the French. Their food. King of Fools. Map is looking better, yeah. It'll be nice to get somebody with an artistic eye to do some artistic-y stuff and make it better, but it's good. It covers all the bases. We've got, colors and bits and pieces, so it's got a little bit of flair to it. And we got, the new places like Hagenfeld and some other places we added in here. And real quick, Arudai, I know we're basically at time here, but do you have a preference for what kingdom or what area the main Saren monk place lives in the Godlands? If you don't, we can also chat about it later. Let me know. Merd, if I feel like swearing. Yeah, you could. This book is going to be how many pages? I am not sure how many pages it's going to be. More than 3. I know that much. Because I've already got way more than 3 pages written and it's still not quite done. At the moment, with no pictures in it and some entries still needing to be done, I've got more than 150 pages in this document already. Feel like monks like tea. I think we got some places for them. Dun, dun, dun. We got places to put them. But, all right, I'm technically over time, and I've got to go get to my game. So I am going to get the heck out of here. I'm going to head off to the underside. I'll leave you guys staring at, I don't know, whatever else is happening here. So, all right, I'm going to get the heck out of here. Thank you very much for coming by. I'll be back here doing more of this on Thursday, and I will see you all for tomorrow night at Wednesday After Dark. So, have a good time. Enjoy your Fat Tuesday. Try to be fat. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.